Welcome to Root Words, a podcast that explores agriculture and cooking's role in connecting us to our landscape and our communities. I'm Stephen Abatel. Root Words is a collaboration between Vermont Farmers Food Center, Shrewsbury Agricultural Education and Arts Foundation, and many other community members. The project began in 2017 and was made possible by support from the National Endowment for the Humanities, as well as from this community. Throughout this podcast, you're going to be hearing stories from people around the Rutland County region in the heart of Vermont, a region rich in agriculture, family farms, a region that's a pastoral working landscape. These stories are going to be each little windows into what a regional food system really looks like on the community level. We're excited to introduce you to some passionate folks working with the land and with food and bringing communities together. So please pull up a chair and enjoy. This past week, during an interview for Root Words, I started getting a storm of messages coming in over my phone, and it turns out that my brother Pete got a deer late one afternoon just before the snowstorm came in. My father and I loaded up the car in a plastic sled and headed out to help him drag. The whole ordeal took us 3 hours and left us all good and tired. This weekend, the family convened to do a home butchering of this harvested deer, and I thought it would be nice to present a short snapshot of our amateur process with a little professional context from my conversation at Farmers Market with Hunter Hubbard of Mountainview Bison in North Clarendon, Vermont. Please enjoy.
My name's Hunter Hubbard, and my business is Mountainview Bison, and we sell all types of stuff. Bison, emus, and ostriches on our farm. We sell all types of steaks, roasts, and all that kind of stuff. I am personally at the Rutland Farmers Market, and I go to the Manchester Dorset Market. In summer times, we're even at the Woodstock Farmers Market. We do all of our. We always have an eye on our butchers when they're doing our stuff, whatever like that. We always have hands-on. Always have people come up even see the stuff when it's happening, so everyone sees what actually goes on in the whole butchering process. And especially with bison, the animals that we have, they're exotic animals, so there's a lot of USDA laws behind all of it, so we always have to be clean and quick with it as best as possible.
Bison are considered exotic animals?
Yes, they are.
I want to pause here for a second to reflect on how ridiculous it is for agencies to refer to the American bison as exotic animals. Bison are literally less exotic than apple pie. These obfuscating classifications are a bit of a language pet peeve of mine. Another good example of this is when solar energy is referred to as alternative energy. Really? The sun? Anyway, let's get back to Hunter.
Well, we've been doing it for a little more than 10 years now, and the owners, myself, Hunter Hubbard, and my father, Tom Hubbard, we've started out with bison. We've always had a little more than 35 head on our farm. We've always been doing the markets as well ever since we started. We get it all around the United States as well. We go near the Canadian border to get the bison. We go to Connecticut, Virginia, everywhere. We haven't been too far west. We're mainly on this part of the United States because we're actually in the Eastern Bison Association. So we talk to all bison owners, farmers, and all that kinds of stuff. Even specific butchers, because there is specific butchers in other states that just do bison. Not ours, unfortunately. We have one butcher actually in the state of Vermont that does it for us. He's actually in Wallingford. He's been used to it for a few years now. So the red stag are my uncle's. He's been doing it even longer than we've had our bison. He's been messing with the whole deer thing for a while, and it's actually beneficial just like bison because it's a red meat, really lean stuff. So our whole farm thing is really healthy exotic meats. So we've just been aiming for that kind of thing for years now, and deer is honestly one of the best. Compared to bison, it's actually a little bit leaner. It's actually a little bit more beneficial. People say it's gamey and stuff like that, but I mean, just depends how you cook it. It's good stuff. I've been eating bison ever since I've had them. I mean, I'm not really a beef kind of guy. I mean, it's just a whole different ball game with beef. I mean, it's not really as beneficial, but I've been eating it for a long time. In my opinion, is to go with these kind of red meats. It's really highly beneficial for you. I mean, and plus it has good flavor to it. Pork and all that stuff. I mean, it's really simple stuff to take care of. It's such small animals and everything like that to work with, and it's just a good personal experience to work with your own animals, so you can actually have beneficial meat. It actually tastes good, because once you taste the fresh stuff, instead of compare the stuff at the grocery stores, there's no comparison at all. It's a whole different ball game. I like tenderloin, in my opinion. I mean, tenderloins and sirloins, it's really tender stuff. I mean, it's actually one of my top selling stuff. Ribeyes, New York strips, top rounds. I mean, it's not as tender, but I mean, it's good parts. It comes from good parts of the body of the animal. And especially it's a red meat. It doesn't take that very long to cook. So I mean, it's quick, nice flavor, and can't complain.
We're about to butcher a deer today.
Yep.
And we're not experts in this. We maybe, if we're really lucky, we can do it once a year, but more likely it's every couple of years. So just tell me a bit about butchering deer. How long have you done it, and just what are some things to know about the process for somebody like us that we're not doing it professionally, but we're doing it with something we harvested ourselves?
Well, deer, I mean, we're used to bigger animals, so the whole smaller animal thing's pretty easy for us. Myself, I've butchered deer because I've hunted ever since I was 10 years old, so 10 plus years now. I get a deer at least once every 2 years, so I'm always up to date on it. My father, he gets one every year, so he's always doing it. But for deer, it's a pretty simple thing. I mean, like, you just gotta open it up. You have to do it as soon as possible, as soon as you get a chance. Take out all the inners, cut it right, do it right from the stomach, and just take out all the inners and stuff. Be very careful because you don't want to ruin the meat by cutting open something you don't want to. So you just got to keep an eye open. It doesn't help to have more than one person there to help you, because you have to hold things to get to more places and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a mess, but if you do it right, you can get a lot of meat out of it, and it's beneficial for you. So.
Describe the process a little bit. Like, when butchering something yourself, what is that? How is that different for somebody than going to the store and buying a steak?
Well, when you're butchering yourself, you actually see what you're looking for kind of meats. You actually when you actually have experience with it, you want to do it more, so you actually want to know where the meat's coming from. Instead of buying from stores, you have no idea. It's already cut up for you and stuff like that, and you don't know where it's coming from. But when you actually go out and get your food, bring it back, cut it up, whatever you want to do with it, it's a better hands-on experience, and it's actually can be better for you in the long run for health-wise. So, and plus it gives you more knowledge about the animal itself, what it eats and everything like that, and we're pretty quick about it. Like I said, deer is really nothing to us. Myself, it takes me within 45 to an hour to do a deer. My father, even less than that. But when there's two of us working on it, we actually do the complete thing. We dehydrate it. We do everything. It takes about like an hour and a half to do everything, and we're pretty good about it. I mean, we have all of our tools because we do with the bison and everything like that, so we have everything right there for us. So we're pretty fortunate to have that. So yeah, and plus with the deer, with those animals, there's lots of things to harvest from them. Like the hides, bones, because you make bones with like bone broth and stuff like that, whatever. meat, obviously.
Today, most folks probably haven't had the experience of processing their own meat from an animal they've raised or harvested, even if they've been a meat eater their entire lives. In many ways, it can be like taking on a large gardening project. It can be a bit daunting to get into, a lot of hard work, and also very rewarding and educational. As I mentioned in episode 13, Hunting, a Family Tradition, my father and uncle learned to process deer from their father and from Uncle Lindy, the family butcher. Pete and I have stirred up this tried and true family tradition and knowledge a bit by incorporating some stuff we learned on the internet. There are YouTube how-tos on everything, and we can't resist cosplaying our Italian heritage with the search for a delectable ossobuco cut. So we're out here in the barn, Shrewsbury, and my brother got a deer a few days ago. And we are processing it. So butchering, skinning right now is going on in the background. Pete's trying to do it in a way that he saw a different way to do it than we've done it before. Saw it on Meat Eater show there. So we're trying that, but we're connecting with our meat and our food system and in a way that seems sometimes a little bit, if you haven't had a lot of experience with it, it might seem a bit intimidating, but yeah, it's something that connects you to really what you're doing, and then later to what you're eating.
And that's I am starting to break down this deer. I'm getting rid of the forelegs here.
So what's going to be this first step you're working on here, Pete?
Well, I'm getting rid of the hooves basically to start.
And then what?
And then going to remove the hide while he is still hanging up. Try to use gravity to the advantage. We'll see how well it works. It looks like a different method than what we historically have done in this family.
Looks like you're doing the best you can to keep away from cutting too much of the hair, because it's a real pain to remove off the meat later. Do you have any special plans for special cuts?
Front legs. Let's see. Let's do some ossobuco and on the shanks. Let's do grind out of one and blade roasts out of the other.
So bone in blade roasts?
Bone in blade roast.
Okay.
You can do it in 3.
So
cut in and then you use the bone saw to.
Dad missed the instructions on my deer, so let's go through that again.
That's what I heard.
Okay, so the shanks we're gonna cut. We're gonna saw those with the bone saw for ossobuco.
Yeah.
And then one blade in roast. And
do you want me to take one off?
And yeah. Mike's chomping at the bit.
There we go. There you go. This is gonna peel right off. Can you feel the
blood in here?
Can you feel the bone come around here? Just follow that. Come down a little further. There you go.
Yeah, right there.
Don't be afraid to pull it toward you. You'll hear it. Yeah. Just pull it away.
Yeah, so he said he wants one of them. He wants the blade to be a bone-in roast. And then the front shanks, the shanks are going to get cut, what, 2 or 3 times, Pete?
Oh, yeah.
For the ossobuco?
Yeah, something like that.
Or no?
Yeah.
We're going to figure that out. Oh. Yeah, there you go. It's farther back than you think.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try and just cut this thing right in half, do 2 of these blade roasts.
I'd have to look in my cellar, but I might have the, not that we can make cube steak anymore. The cuber.
Oh my god, that was so much cleaner.
But his side?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that was just the blade, I guess.
I'm gonna give a saw, try and do this ossobuco. What do we have going for the bones here?
I would like to make some stock out of some stuff. I'll just cheat and throw it in the crock pot and see what comes out of it.
Okay.
So stuff like that, yeah. Don't worry about...
But for this ossobuco cut, so then what? Then we... Do you want me to try and just cut this in half? Should I try
If you could do thirds, great.
Okay.
But maybe make your life easier. Cut around it and then just cut through the bone.
Okay.
Don't kill yourself doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'll try not to. I will try not to. What are you getting out right now?
The other tenderloin.
All right. What are you thinking about the ribs? It's hard. It's kind of ribs on a deer are a little tricky. They're very thin. There's not a ton of meat between them.
Well, my thought is saw in half and then just make like chunks of like, I don't know, 3 or 4.
I did the back straps on mine, and I feel like I was losing bits when I was trying to get that silver skin out. So I think I would like to see how you do it.
I'm just gonna get underneath it.
Yeah, this part here where it kind of goes under, and then it's in the inside, and there's this piece on top. That's what I wasn't exactly sure about. All right, I gotta try and cut more. This ossobuco thing. I'll try for another.
Okay, Steve discovered a new toy. The bone set. Don't lose your fingers.
I'm not having a great time with it.
You may need your brother to hold it or something.
I'm thinking that there's an angle that it works best at, and I just haven't found the angle yet. What were you saying about the saw, Mike?
You did a wonderful job with those cuts.
We're debating if we're going to do more of those bone saw cuts.
I vote no.
What do you think, brother? How's this process gone so far?
Well, not as quickly as I hoped we would be after a little bit of experience from the last 2 years, but it's going okay.
The guy I talked to at the market today, I talked to Hunter, the guy with the bison farm. He said that him and his father can get through a deer in 2 hours, I think.
I believe it. They know what they're doing.
Yep. But not too bad here. Lots of chops and steaks. You got any special meals planned, Pete, out of this deer?
I want to try doing a sausage stuffed heart. I saw that in a recipe book, and it looks pretty good.
You not see it?
And it seems relatively easy to do. Some sausage, some vegetables, a little bit of thyme, and hopefully it'll be nice and tender. I know most people will fry them up with onions, and this is kind of kicking that up.
So there it is, home butchering. We may have fallen short of the perfect ossobuco, but we did make some more family memories, and we will make some great family dinners. This episode was produced by Stephen Abitel. Special thanks to Hunter Hubbard from Mountainview Bison, my father Peter, my brother Pete, Uncle Mike, and Farmer Scott for letting us use his barn to process Pete's deer. To learn more about Mountainview Bison, look them up on Facebook.
Our musical themes are by the Salt Ash Serenaders. We are a project of the Vermont Farmers Food Center and Sage. Thank you all for listening and for being a part of our local food system. We'll catch you next time on Root Words.